Hi everyone, so I'm back with more magazines to share with you guys. So recently Junho has had a lot of front page cover magazines, and so I have these two with me at the moment, and as I was putting these aside, getting ready to rip out the pages and put them in my clear book, I realized that I haven't shared these three other magazines that came out last year. So I thought that was enough to make a video and do a quick flip through of all these just to share what these magazines are like. So we have a mix of Korean magazines, Japanese magazines, and a Singapore magazine. So I'm just gonna go from earliest to most recent, which means I think we start with Nylon Japan. All right, so this is the Nylon Japan 2 p.m. special edition. And this is 2 p.m.'s first and so far only group cover magazine they've released since their comeback after their long military hiatus. So I'm sure many of you maybe seen this before, but in case not, do a nice little flip through. So I did buy this. Actually, I bought 3 copies of this because it did come with pre-order bonuses from exclusive to different stores. And just do a little flip through of the rest of the magazine, but we'll focus on the 2 p.m. sections. Yeah, I ordered 3 copies originally. I've since sold my extras. And the nice thing about this magazine is that they also came with photo cards inside that you tear away. And so I've shared what those look like in my binder. And again, apologize for the glare, but here's a nice group shot. And then we start off with Junho's page, and I just love the styling and just the playful nature of his poses here. And then Taekyeon. And Wooyoung. So the styling is a little atrocious for everyone, if I'm being honest. It's not too bad for some members. Like, I don't think Wooyoung's is awful. But I do kind of like the bright color choices and the focus on greens, blues, purples, and a little bit of yellow. So I thought that was kind of a nice stylistic choice. And we have Chansung here with his pizza sweater. Kuni with this bright green suit. And then Minjun, and almost looks like he's wearing pajamas. A little bit more structured though. And then we have an interview, all in Japanese, that I'm sure you could find translations of for this on Twitter. There was a little event where I think you could apply to get Polaroids or sign Polaroids, which was cool. And then they have this advertisement for their With Me Again mini album that they released at the same time as this. And then this you could get a feel of what else Nylon Japan does. There's a lot of bright colors and interesting photos in this magazine. So short and sweet. Now we have this Indeed magazine with Taekyeon on the cover. So unfortunately, a lot of Taekyeon's recent magazines have been the really long ones that are made of sort of like that newspaper print, and I've been trying to avoid buying those because if you've seen my previous videos, I like to tear out the pages of the 2 p.m. members and then put them in a clear book, just so that I reduce my shelf space and have everything just nicely laid out in that sort of binder. But yeah, so this is a Korean magazine. There's Taekyeon here. And I think there's some other idols as well in this issue. But we start off with Taekyeon, and this has become a bit of a meme on Twitter. And unlike the Nylon Japan magazine, which was more glossy, I've noticed with the Korean magazines, they tend to be more of a matte finish. Which is definitely the case with this one. There's a nice variety and multiple pages here. And then we have some other photo shoots with other idols, I believe. That is indeed. Now for the men's folio magazine, there were two different covers depending on which country edition you purchased. So right here I have the Singaporean version, which was a lot cheaper and easier to get because I knew someone from Singapore who was kind enough to ship this to me. And I did like kind of the casual wear on this one. I think though, if I remember correctly, they have a similar image inside of the outfits they wore for the Malaysian version. But yeah. And I believe this is all in English too, which is cool as well. I'll make sure there's not... Okay, so this is the other cover version, if you could see clearly. So they were in the kind of suit outfits for the Malaysian version. And there's also a Vietnamese version and an Indonesian version, but they didn't have Chansung and Junho on those covers. And again, just to double check, wasn't anything. Okay, yeah, so I missed this picture. So there is them there. And this is just a men's fashion magazine. It's a little different from the other ones, but let me start up with Put Your Hands Up. And they released this, I think, after Must. So now that I think about it, I wonder if this came out before Nylon Japan. I'm probably getting my dates wrong. But I received this a little bit later because it was shipping slow mail from Singapore. And I really like the pages on here. So there's a nice glossy finish that's not super shiny. And yeah, probably could read their interview. It's all in English. So when I go to cut out the pages, I'm probably going to keep the interview since I could actually read it. And I still don't understand that part of Chansung's suit, but and the pages are super thick. And I think that's it for their section. Let me double check. Yep, that's what this one looked like. And then on to now one of the recent Japanese TV guides that Junho has been the cover of. They have a new one that just came out yesterday that I still need to buy. I didn't pre-order it because they had, again, pre-order bonuses. He's in the same outfit as the other, I think, Hollywood Pia magazine that I have in storage at a proxy service that I'm waiting to ship out. I've been seeing a lot of people list some of the pre-order benefits on the Japanese sites, so I figured I could maybe just try to buy them that way. But anyway, because this is a Japanese magazine, it is, I guess, backwards from a Western perspective. Here's the spine and the back, and this will just mostly cover Korean dramas that are being broadcasted in Japan. And this is a mini poster that you can fold out and tear out of Junho. It's just plain on the back. And the appendix. And And then just a lot of pictures of him in this suit. And there's also some other, I think, TV guides that are basically the same photo shoot, but slightly different variations of these poses that I might eventually get, but they haven't been a high priority. And who knows how many more will be coming out in the future. And because this is a Japanese magazine, it's all the interview is in Japanese. And I think it's not just an interview, it's just, I think, a summary of what he's been up to. And then some stills from the red sleeve, which I think is broadcasting in Japan now, or maybe it already did. One of those. I'm sure there'll be some DVD information sometime soon on it. So more about the red sleeve, a summary of his previous dramas, including Confession, Walk of Love, Just Between Lovers, Chief Kim, and Memory. And I think that's it for this section. And then they have interviews with other Korean actors and highlighting other K-dramas. Just a brief look at what this type of magazine is like. And then finally, the most recent magazine is this one. So this is a Korean magazine, and it is by far the largest one. I'm still unsure if I want to dissect it to put in my clear book or not, because as you can see, it is much bigger than a typical A4 dimension. And there's a lot of pretty photos in here that I don't really want to cut. But this is the cover I ended up keeping. I bought the set and sold off the other two because this thing's huge and I don't know what, I really don't have the storage for all three covers. But yeah, so I believe there are two different sections that he's featured in. I think he's in the contents table, all these ads. If I could find it. Here it is. Okay. So these are all three covers, and what those look like. Then we have this nice photo of him here. And a lot of these photos they actually released on social media, so you could get nice HD versions of them. But there are some exclusive photos in here as well. Remember where his section is. Yeah, okay, so he's at the start here. So this is the first section. These are all the very kind of blue and dark tone photos. And interview. And he's also further back in here. Let's find it. Here we go. And then the nobody else section. And I think this is my favorite photo of the entire lot. But yeah, this section in particular is my favorite because you can see him a little bit better. The other ones were a little bit too dark, in my opinion. And the same photo from the table of contents. And some outdoor photos. Variation of the cover of this particular magazine. And then I think that's it. So yeah, I think of all the magazines, this is definitely my favorite, even though this was definitely the most expensive one. And then, of course, I adored seeing 2 p.m. all together. I hope they have more magazine features in the future, and it was really refreshing also to have Chan K together in an English interviewed magazine, so that was cool too. But yeah, I'm expecting more Junho cover magazines to arrive. I'll probably do another video sharing those, and then I might do another flip through of my clear book containing all the magazine pages I've collected over the years. Eventually, maybe once the magazines start slowing down. I feel like there's at least one announced every other week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and enjoyed all the beautiful photos of 2 p.m.